Welcome to Minding Your Business. I'm Jermaine.
Deep Pleasure Photography.
What's kind of your background? Where did you go to school?
Yeah, so actually I went to college at Central State University back in 2010. Played basketball and football there for a few years.
Were you any good?
Oh yeah, I was pretty good. Yeah, I was pretty nice on the court and on the field. So I tore up my knees, so had to find something else to do. So I ended up getting to comedy.
He was.
Yeah.
Tell me a joke.
Tell you a joke? Well, I ain't got none offhand. I don't do those type of jokes. But yeah, I got into comedy, and that's why I bought my first camera, to record myself, to kind of like help me with my skills and stuff like that.
So that's how you got into photos?
Pretty much. Well, actually, I wasn't into photos. I wasn't into taking no pictures. I just got the camera back in 2017 because I started doing like stand-up comedy and stuff, making skits. So that's why I bought a camera. But it was a decent camera. It was a Canon Rebel T6S. It was a pretty good camera at the time for a beginner. So I just started shooting my kids and taking her all around my family functions, and people started calling me the family picture man. But I didn't know what I was doing. Settings is always on auto. I'm just taking pictures because the quality was good. I think 24 megapixels in 2017 was pretty good. So yeah, that's how I got to it.
So did something inspire you to
actually
pick it up more?
No, my Instagram feed it was showing professional pictures. So people started hitting me up like, hey, can you take pictures at my little party, my little get together? I'm like, cool. Give me $100. I'll do it because I had a full-time job. I was working at Chrysler. I used to build cars. So that was just my little side hustle. It became my side hustle. So that's why I started taking little side gigs on weekends, make a little extra few $100s. And before you know it, people start asking me to do weddings and stuff like that with no experience.
So at what point did you start taking it serious, or like?
Honestly, once I moved to Tennessee, because like I said, back in Detroit, I'm from Detroit. So back in Detroit, I just used to do it on the weekends. Or when I wasn't working, I just pick up little jobs here and there and make a quick $100, $150. But once I moved here, I did an event for New Year's. And after that, and I did a fashion show right after that. And then when people saw those pictures, everyone started hitting me up for portraits, to take these pictures of their family photos. I had no experience. I didn't do any type of studio work, any portrait work. I just did like events and parties. So I had to teach myself. So eventually I started taking it serious because I'm looking at the people, and it's a small area here in Nashville, Murfreesboro. It's pretty small, so everyone knows everybody. So I'm like, hey, I can probably make something out of it.
What was your biggest obstacle you had to overcome starting your business?
Well, for me, I would just say learning actually what I'm doing. Learning photography, learning settings and stuff like that. Because anybody can pick up a camera and just start shooting. But actually knowing what you're doing, that was the biggest obstacle. So I looked up a lot of YouTube videos because, if you start reaching out to photographers, they don't really want to help you out. They don't really want to see you grow. So where they look at your messages and ignore it. So I just had to figure it out on my own. So I just YouTube, research, and then a lot of trial and error. I just pick people off the street and start shooting them and try to help my craft. So that's how I pretty much started taking it serious.
To know that you have your business going, what's some pros and cons of doing a 9-to-5 versus having your own business?
Pros and cons versus having your own business versus working a regular 9-to-5. Yeah. I would say the first one is when you're working a 9-to-5, you're getting paid every Friday or every 2 weeks. You know what you make as long as you come to work those 5 days or how many other days you work a week. You're gonna get that same number every week or every 2 weeks. When you're on your own business, it changes. 1 week you can probably make $1,000 or $1,500. You think you're doing something. Then the next one you may make $200. So that's one of the pros and cons of working at a traditional job where you get a check every week versus owning your own business. But for me, owning your own business, it makes you more hungry. It makes you more creative. You're just not stuck. Because I think more so with a 9-to-5, you're just stuck. You don't really think about nothing as long as your bills getting paid and you just feel like, just a normal. I guess it's how they teach us really in this society. But when you own your own business, it just make you more hungry, you're just more ambitious, and you just try to figure stuff out, more ways to be creative and, it's able to take care of your family. So those are my, pros and cons, But then also too, you don't have to answer to nobody when you own your own business.
Yeah.
You can come and go, you can make your own schedule. If you have kids, you can pretty much build your schedule around your family if you're married. So those are, I love being a business owner, My dad was a business owner. He still is a business owner. He has a barbershop over 30 years now. So I kind of learned a little bit from him because he's never worked for no one, but he always reinvented himself, you know. After owning the business, I don't want to go back to ever working a 9 to 5, you know. Just answering to people, I don't like that. Tell me when I got to use the restroom and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I just didn't like that. I seen bigger for myself, so.
Nah, you got big plans.
You gotta start somewhere, you know, because like I said, it's photography business. I'm a photographer, now I'm getting into a little bit of videography, but you know, it's not the end goal. Eventually I wanna have my own space, you know, rent out, have like a nice little venue where I can rent out to other photographers and, you know, if they wanna do engagement shoots there, bridal parties, you know, and then just have my name, just have other photographers under me, videographers, you know, the way I'm just not doing it all by myself, you know. So that's the goal. It'll happen. You manifest it, it'll happen for you.
So with your photography business, if you have to estimate or guesstimate how much you think you invest in the business to
like
get
far as equipment and everything?
Yeah, to get it, equipment, LLC,
yeah,
all that.
That's pretty crazy. I never really thought about that because I shoot from home. I have my own studio in my house, in my garage. So with that included, with the equipment, it's building, painting, flooring, and camera gear, invested in probably since 2020, I probably put backdrops. Wow, that's crazy. Let's see. I don't know, probably about 15 to 20,000 when you think about cameras, lights, and flooring, backdrops. Because you know, well, I pay like $100-some per backdrop off Amazon with shipping. So I probably got about 20 of those. So that's like 2,000, 2,500 right there. You know, cameras 2,000, 3,000, lenses 2,000, 1,500. You know, shoot. Then you have your subscriptions, your Lightroom, your Photoshop, and your website, and the LLC. Yeah, so probably I would say about 15, 20 within the past few years.
Everything combined, that's all you in 15?
Yeah, I would say so. Flooring was probably about 3,000, 4,000 by itself. So, yeah.
Would you say it was a good investment, or?
Oh yeah, it was the best investment. You know, I think now, I think I'm starting to see where it all went because I don't have to pay any rent. You know, like if I had a building, paying, you know, maybe $1,500 to $2,000 a month. You know, at the end of the year, that's probably about what, 12 to 13, 14,000 just a year. You know, just off of your space. You know, where I put money into my space. With just the studio, probably put about 5,000 or 6,000 into that to get it where it is. But now, you know, I don't have to pay anyone. So I think that's pretty awesome too. So I'm seeing an investment now because I have everything that I would need, you know, to be successful as a photographer.
So how long would you say it took you for your business to be successful? I guess it depends on you.
Well, actually, when I first started shooting in the studio, I figured I was pretty decent. Like I said, Nashville is a pretty small area, and just being self-taught with no experience, like I'll say my first year was pretty cool. You know, like I always had a job. I probably was doing 7, 8 jobs a week. You know, when I first started off, but I think 2021 was my breakthrough year. Like 2020 was the pandemic. That's when I pretty much set my ground. But 21 was my year. Like with college shoots and starting to build a name for myself. My first year, 2021 was my first full year. I think I capped out at like 65, 70,000 for that year. So I knew I was heading in the right direction. My projection this year, I wanted to do 100,000. So
you on track?
Let me see. It's a little bit better than last year, but honestly, if I'm being honest with you, I probably do about 80 to 85 this year, which is still a growth. You know, I'll probably make an additional 10 to 15,000 by the end of the year from last year. So I think that's a nice jump. You know, kind of like you work at a job and you got a raise. So
yeah, your raise can go down next year if you don't work hard at it.
It can go. So that's why you just have to continue to reinvent yourself, come up with new ideas. You know, and see what's trending, because you know that's the thing now. You got to figure out what's trending. You know, 2021 and 2020, we wasn't doing reels. We were just taking photos. You know, maybe doing a little BTS, posting it. But now it's reels. So now it's like something you're gonna have to invest in too as well. Making reels, content creating, just not taking pictures no more. They don't want to see that. So it's constantly evolving.
What would you say if a new photographer trying to get in the game? What's a few tips you would have?
Some advice I would give to photographers all the time. I get a lot of photographers in my DMs asking me settings and what camera to invest in. Because I've been there. A few years ago, it was just me asking other photographers. So I always tell, well, I'm a Canon. I never tell nobody anything outside of Canon. But like when you start getting into it, do your research on YouTube. You know, because a lot of times when a photographer's successful, he doesn't really have time to, you know, be trying to teach and do all this stuff. So do a lot of research on YouTube. It's a lot of videos. That's how I learned. I didn't have nobody teach me. I learned on YouTube. And just start shooting in different atmospheres. Get you some, start off doing outside, natural light shoots with no strobes, nothing. Learn that niche. Start doing studio work. Just learn, but just do it. You know, you may have to invest maybe $40, $50 just to get some studio time or whatnot, but it's worth it. Just learn, teach yourself, you know, you'll see your growth. And then as you grow, you invest in your equipment. So if you got something basic now, learn that tool, and then eventually as your business grows, start investing in better equipment.
What's a couple of things that you didn't know as working a 9 to 5? What's some things you didn't know about business that you know now that you wish somebody had told you about, or kind of know before you actually started?
When I first started, when I first started taking this photography business serious, I should have got my LLC then, you know, because there's so many benefits of having making your business official, you know, because anything can happen. A slip and fall, someone can sue you, and if you don't have your business straight with no LLC or anything like that, they can sue you personally. You know, you don't want that to happen. Where opposed to if you have your business, you have your LLC, they can sue your business opposed to you and your personal assets. So, and then taxes, because you want to make sure everything is set up. And then it's a lot of perks to it. You know, because you have credit score. You know, you have your personal credit, and then you can start building business credit. You know, and then once you start building business credit, that's another level. Like that money that you make in your business, they start seeing those numbers. You can invest that back in your business because they're going to see, oh, he's doing this and he's getting this type of money. You can create a lot of revenue for your business and take you to new heights and invest in other things. Yeah, so my Instagram is dpleasurephotography. You probably can see that at the bottom of the screen. And then I have my second page, which I just started. It's just going to be promoting engagement and weddings, which is dpleasurephotography love. And my website is dpleasurephotography.com. If you're looking to book a shoot, go ahead and introduce yourself, where you're from, and just a little bit of your background, where you come from, and what made you get into the photography, videography business.
Well, I'm Jermaine. I'm Blackanese. I'm from China.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, I'm half black and half Chinese.
Okay.
You probably hear when I'm twanging, the Chinese part of me. Yeah. No, I'm from Jamaica. Used to run track back in my days. Ran with Usain Bolt. You can look me up.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, then I came over here for college, finished up, and I just started working. Used to mess around with cameras for a while, but never took it serious until I did a video of my bully, my dog, and my wife. At the time, my girlfriend, she posted, and everybody started liking it, so that's when I started doing videos.
Okay. So you started off doing more so video opposed to photography.
Yeah, I used to do like a day in the life off, so I go around and pretty much like what we're doing right now, interviewing. So kind of that's how I started. That's my passion. I like interviewing.
You like interviewing?
Yeah.
I can see that. So at what point did you start getting into photography?
Can't remember what year. I think it was, because you used to shoot here, and I used to send you to clients, because I never want to, I could shoot photos, but I just never want to do it. But I think at one point you was getting so busy that you wasn't able to take on any more clients. So I was like, I'm gonna just go ahead and
try it out,
do it, and then just start doing it.
It worked out. Yeah. And then what made you want to get into the business side of it? Like having your own space, because you have a great space here, and it's not too many in Nashville, especially black owned. What made you want to get your own studio, your own space?
I heard about studio space, and I'm like, I can get me, because my goal was to get out of shooting, period, like shooting videos and photos. So I was like, getting a studio is a good way of getting out of it. So find me a place. I was like, I'm just gonna rent it out, because at one point I stopped doing videos and photos. I was just renting the studio because I didn't want to do videos and stuff like that anymore.
Yeah.
So I got the space. One of my goals was to make it a networking space where people can come and just network. A lot of people don't like working together, so that didn't pan out.
Right.
So I just started renting it out.
Where do you see your business in 2 years from now?
I mean, I'm doing weddings. I'm trying to do a lot more weddings. So I'm gonna have a team of people. So I send them to go shoot. They don't have the editor shoot the video or the photos, send it back to me, and I edit.
Yeah.
So my goal is to, if you want to say, get out of the field pretty much and just do more admin work as far as the business, marketing, running the business.
Be that go-to person.
Not doing the day-to-day shooting and editing, just have people. That's the ultimate goal.
Yeah, and I think you're gonna be able. I know you're gonna be able to do that. Cause you're a good person. You like a big brother to me. You know, when it comes to the business aspect, or just when I have questions about how to grow my business, make it better. You always put your 2 cents in and give me good advice on what I can do to make my business more successful. And I appreciate you for that. I come to you for advice, and especially on the business side. I know if I have a question or have anything dealing with business, you the man. Yeah, do this and get the LLC. If you do that, you're gonna go to Bank of America. They give you this, and So I appreciate that. So I know you're gonna be successful because you're successful now. Best of luck to you, brother. Where can they find you at?
You can find me at World Boss Studios. That's where I put all my content. Then I have specific page, World Boss Weddings. It's just weddings. And then World Boss Photos is nothing but photos. And then I got my YouTube channel I'm working on.
Okay. Yeah.
Minding my business. And I also have World Boss Studios, YouTube, World Boss Weddings, YouTube.
Everything.
So you can find me everywhere. Just search World Boss, whatever you want to find. World Boss Weddings, studio, or photos, and you find me anywhere. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. That's where you can find me.
Cool, man. I appreciate you for having me. I just appreciate it. Thank you, man.
All right, guys, until next time, if you enjoyed this video, learn anything, give us a share, a like, a comment. Tell a friend to check us out. Until next time.
That's what y'all do.